Alright folks, just before we start the podcast, I have to just mention that the podcast with Yah was a bit different. It kind of started recording just before we actually started to introduce the podcast, and we were already talking about interesting stuff, so we kept that. So we've kept the entire podcast in its entirety from the start of recording to the end, basically. So keep tuned into the end because there's a live recording session, 4 tracks that were recorded with Yah, and there are also videos available, so check down below in the description. You'll find all the links to the videos, you'll find links to Yah's artist pages and all that stuff, and of course a big special shout out to Bloo Coo, who, without the use of their studio, without the good nature of Sean, we would not be able to do any of this shit whatsoever. So thanks very much to him. Sean also has a special live session video recorded on the same day on his channel as well, which will also link, so there'll be tons of links for you to check out. Hope you enjoyed the podcast, folks. Peace.
So I went home and I'm like, oh, it must be kind of coming down, I'll have a smoke. So go into my garden, smoke a bowl, sit down in my room and listen to the Glass Animals. Don't know if you heard them, but they're trippy band. Sit and listen to them, and it starts coming on really strong, and I'm like, holy shit. And I went through and told my mum, I was like, look here, I'm really tripping hard. Just want to let you know. And she's like, okay. You know what I mean? Just she doesn't, she can't feel what I'm feeling. And then,
could you get 4 instead of 2?
Yeah, and then I went back through to my room and I Google. I'm like, how long does the effects of San Pedro last? And you know when Google answers it for you? And it was the most creepy, horrible thing. It said, San Pedro Cactus reveals itself to the user after 2 hours of vomiting. Effects can last 8 to 15 hours.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, no. I'm done for the day. And I'm like, oh no, I'm away to start tripping now. And it's going to last all night. And this absolutely terrifying thing I have no idea about. And it's so I ended up having oh man, it was a fucking mad experience. I ended up tripping all night. I had to go and sleep in my sister's room on the floor. I was seeing snakes and the Mexican Day of the Dead shit with the skeletons and sombreros and all that shit, all that art. I was seeing that in my head and it was fucking crazy. It was horrible.
That doesn't sound fun.
I didn't know what I was doing. If I'd been aware of what I was doing, because I look up, it's one of the most powerful psychedelics in the world. I'm like, why did I do this? At one point, I was cuddling my mum and crying. I was like, I've made a terrible mistake. And she's creased, you know what I mean? You're a fucking asshole. I'm losing it. The next day,
that's exactly how mum would have dealt with you. You fucking idiot.
Oh, it's really funny.
Sam's got one of the simplest mums ever. I don't think anybody else knows go for that.
For real.
No. His mum had bought him an ounce for coming back from Jamaica.
Yeah, to sell, yeah.
Whose mum does that? Here's a newspaper.
That was pretty cushy.
Your mum smoke as well, I'm guessing.
She did. My mum doesn't drink or smoke or anything. She's she sings in the choir and in the vestry in the church and stuff.
Oh,
really
wow.
My mum's super mum, always driving about the kid. My sister does Highland dancing, and she's a very normal child. My sister does good in life and all that sort of stuff.
So you're opposites.
I'm the total delinquent child that's fucked everything up in my life so far.
She just accepts it, that's what you do, and doesn't question it.
Yeah, my mum's well sound. My dad's total opposite, but my mum's so when I was 14, I got caught smoking ganja. My guidance teacher phoned my mum, and for 2 weeks, my mum tried to stop me smoking it, but she kept finding texts on my phone, and I was lying to her, and it was just causing a bad relationship. And then she was like, look, we'll write down some things, and she wrote down, I want you to do better in school and wash more. And then, seriously, I was a smelly bastard in high school, didn't go fucking months without having a shower, and then I'm not like that anymore, don't worry.
We should be talking about this on the podcast.
I know.
It's actually recording right now, but wait a minute.
Alright.
I'll sit in it.
Yeah, she said, I said I want to be allowed to smoke weed and be allowed it till 11 o'clock or something like that, and she was like, that's fine, but she didn't want me drinking, because when I drank, I'd come home and be a total dick. When I was smoking, I'd still be the same dude, could have a conversation, and so. She was pretty sound about that from a young age.
That's mad, man.
But I won't be doing that San Pedro thing again.
I had a
horrible
POE cactus, but it died. I didn't have a chance to sample it. It's magic. But
to be honest, if you're prepared for what you're going into, it'd be a great experience.
Oh yeah, totally.
It may be, I woke up the next day a completely changed man. I am in the process of getting my shit together from that. The whole thing, it was the cactus. I was seeing the cactus as well. I was seeing these weird spinny sort of machines.
No,
Sorry, okay.
You should start.
I'll start off and say, right, You've got one of the most interesting mums in the world. And then we'll continue on for there. Right. The recording, you said?
That's
cool.
I'm recording most of that.
Is it allowed to talk about tripping balls on?
They're legal
yeah,
in this
totally.
country anyway.
Are they quality?
San Pedro.
Peyote cactus anyway. I don't. San Pedro,
Right.
yeah, it's
Alright,
legal.
okay.
Because it's mescaline that's in it.
Yeah.
You make
Oh,
mescaline
it's
from it.
extracted mescaline's illegal. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Well, no, that. Well, yeah, I guess if you synthesise the mescaline,
But he's not going to get arrested if he
But
tells a
if
story.
you've got the cactus and you make the thing or whatever in this country, it's fine. It's not illegal. It's illegal in America. It's
Wow.
very illegal.
Didn't go to America
Wow.
after this podcast.
Unless you're a Native American and it's part of your rituals.
Heritage.
I'm sure they've
I'm
got
pre-
religious
I'm-
exemption laws in America where
Yeah.
you can smoke weed and certain things because
I think so.
of your religion.
In Jamaica, they've decriminalised it now, and it's like I've like sat with police officers smoking doobies, and like it's fucking.
That must
great.
feel crazy.
It is, well, like literally 2 years ago, they had rifles up to us, like searching our bags for ganja, like guns in your face, and it's like now they're like, right, mate, like chilling. It's like it's good.
It shows
It's
that
good
they
to
didn't
see that
really care. They were just sort of
doing their job.
Aye.
Straight up.
blindly just sort of.
I know.
Anyway, I
But
started.
yeah, if you guys don't mind the drug associations, I'm like very
Oh, no,
I'm
I'm-
very
I'm
vocal about my drug
fine, man,
use.
totally fine.
I'm vocally boring about how shite I am with drugs.
That's one
So I find interest in other people that take drugs successfully.
All right, cool.
Right.
That's it. But I think what we'll do is we'll start talking about the session first, and then we'll get
Yeah.
into.
We'll
just
get
the
to the off-topic shit.
Aye.
I love the off-topic shit. It's
It's
sort
better,
of
it's
seriously much more interesting than music shit.
Totally. Can we start now? Sorry.
All right.
Right. Alright, folks, welcome to the Besides the Norm podcast. I'm Scuba, Craig is here. We also have Yah in the place, man.
All right. What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah.
We were just doing our recording session. Few fuck ups, as usual, with most sessions.
Yeah. That's the way it goes.
You got through them, though? You got
I
through
did.
them.
I made it.
That's it. There was one particular trouble you had with one particular song, which you
Oh, yeah.
absolutely crushed at the end.
I did.
And you could see Sean and Craig won't have seen, but there was a slight smile on his face just as he got to the bit. Where he was like, kept fucking up it. He kind of went, then continued on. It was great work, man.
Got it. Yeah.
There was an air song, I don't know which song it was, but where you have to reach the really high notes.
Oh yeah.
Me and Sean were sitting here rooting for you, like, oh, fucking, just get it, just.
That sounded good, man.
But you
Brilliant.
fucking, you got the notes quite well, like. That was-
Sweet.
It's well done.
Fuck aye, man. Defo. So, we were having a bit of an interesting conversation. I don't know if we could maybe mix some of the stuff we already had in. We'll see what happens. But you were talking a wee bit about cactuses and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Could you kind of reiterate the cactus story just a tiny wee bit, if possible?
All right. Yeah. Well, basically, the San Pedro cactus is like one of the most powerful psychedelics on the planet, and I had not read about it properly before consuming it. And a friend of mine showed up with like 82 dried grams and gave 41 to me, and we ate it. I thought we would be like sort of tripping for a few hours and maybe throw up in amongst that, but when I came home, thought the trip was over and smoked a bowl of ganja, it started coming on really strong. I googled how long the effects would take, how long the effects were, and it said after 2 hours it reveals itself to the user, and effects last 8 to 15 hours. So I kind of shat myself there, like, you know.
Did you not say that there was 2 hours of vomiting before that?
Yeah, the 2 hours before it sort of reveals itself properly, you're like vomiting violently, and like I think it's chemically closer to like an amphetamine. So you kind of, it's not like on like mushrooms or even smoking ganja and stuff. You can feel relaxed and like you feel like. At one point, I was like lying down, like twitching and sort of like that sort of thing, and you don't know whether to like sit up or, you know, run or like, I don't know, lie down or whatever.
How long after you actually googled how long this was going to take did it actually start to kick in properly for the second time?
Yeah, it all just kind of kept coming. It actually, to be honest, by the end of it, it wasn't. I think my fear and everything really like made it a bit worse. And I read that apparently, like, they call it a visionary thing. So you're maybe meant to go on a walk. Like, I didn't do that. I stayed in. I was like, right, I'm just gonna like chill in my room in this cave and like not leave, sort of thing. I listened to some music and just like tried to cool out. But I was seeing all kinds of like. I was seeing sorts of visions and stuff. Like, I was trying to go to sleep, and obviously I couldn't sleep, but I was seeing these like weird, spinny, meaty butchery machines that were, and they were just like, to me, I was looking at it and just feeling absolute horror and despair. It was like that was all the suffering in the world, and it was all my fault because I was sleeping, you know. And it's like the psychedelics are really weird. There's lots of like, I think they work with like the language centers in the brain. There's lots of like, you see the poeticness of life when you're on these things. Like I got tripping in Dundee on mushrooms one time, and when I was walking home, it was very cold and it was a rough road, and I wanted to just like call someone for a lift or something, but I was tripping up my nut. I wanted to just get on a bus as well, but I couldn't because I just looked. My eyes are all, you know, so I couldn't get on the bus, and so I had to walk in the cold, and it was just all, to me at the time. Obviously, if you're not in that mindset, it doesn't make sense. But I was like seeing it as like, I'm on a journey home. I want to call in a higher power, but I'm just trying to get through it because that's what you've got to do, and that you're in this cold world. Want to just There was lots of like symbology, and I did finally stop and phone someone for a lift, and I like, when I called them, I looked up and I was at a sign that said "Give way." And, like, that's, you know, they just that sort of stuff you miss if you're not in that mindset. It's like it's really funny, like it's weird. But yeah, so I don't know. There's like with that cactus thing, the whole like seeing the suffering in the world and me sleeping. Although I was literally sleeping and watching this weird machine thing, figuratively. It's like, you know, if we aren't aware and like trying to keep on top of global situation, and we don't take action, if we don't take action, badness will continue to happen. That was the kind. But ultimately, like, I was on drugs, so you know, it's all speculation, really. You know what I mean?
I was interested to find out if you'd actually written any songs while you've been in any of these states, because you'd like to delve into these psychedelics.
Yeah. Well,
have you ever actually tried that? Have you heard the automatic writing?
What's this?
Automatic writing's a thing where people get kind of a good dose of psychedelics and then just allow themselves to write
and just see what comes out
and just see what fucking
Is
eventually
that what
comes
Frankie
out.
Boyle does?
I think I've maybe heard him talking about that, but I've heard a few kind of MCs.
I didn't know.
talking about it.
Frankie Boyle's well cool, man. I didn't know he was like taking psychedelics.
He does that quite a lot. Like,
yeah, cause he's well into grime music and that as well, isn't he?
Aye.
He used to Hip Hop Thursday, I think. Does he still do that?
I don't know if he does it anymore.
Because he shared a few Scottish hip hop acts.
It's well known that his first book was written mostly on acid. That was pretty much, I'd say, quite a well-known thing.
Brilliant, like brilliant.
But I'd say, if we could get back into a wee bit musical history, what sort of... Did you say, I remember you saying at some point you were in bands before you started getting into reggae music and stuff.
Well, when I was in like high school, I was obsessed with Kurt Cobain. He was like my idol. I was really into Nirvana, and from that, Kurt Cobain was very influenced by punk music and punk rock, and I started listening to his bands like Mudhoney, the Melvins, the Vaselines, who are a Scottish band. They were Kurt said they were his favourite band apparently, and they're from Glasgow. And then from punk rock, when I was listening to like Sex Pistols, Dead Kennedys and stuff, that was about the time I was in high school. I tried smoking ganja, and obviously like Bob Marley's playing somewhere when kids are smoking bud.
There's always one house.
yeah,
somebody just plays Bob Marley.
But I just kind of I noticed that like Bob Marley has a song "Punky Reggae Party" that he wrote during, I think it was the Notting Hill riots or something in London. Like he got together with loads of punks and Rastas, and they wrote "Punky Reggae Party," and reggae and punk are quite interlocked.
Yeah.
And just through like I always liked the lyrics that kind of meant something and like weren't just singing pish, you know what I mean? Like, so Bob Marley and like Peter Tosh, all reggae in general is quite conscious, and from reggae I got to hip hop, like sort of thing. Well, Kamehameha kind of got me into like actually doing the rapping and stuff and coming in, like linking up with folks like yourselves.
Had you sort of originally started off like just singing and not rapping at all?
Yeah, well, like started off, we played in bands and I did singing, and originally like I didn't know how to sing at all. I just used to kind of shout like punk, like we played punk music, classic, like three of us and 3-chord tunes, and like me screaming about some stuff, like some angsty teenage stuff, and yeah. And then I got singing lessons for a while with like in a kind of like choir setting afterwards, because I wanted to learn, and I did a course at Perth College, like playing guitar and stuff, and like I play guitar and sing on my own all the time. That's like my favourite thing to do. But I kind of got into like rapping and stuff, because if you put on a backing track and do that, like I can actually get out and do something. It's really hard to get a band together and make everyone come together with the same vision. So like our band last time, we did have a reggae band. We worked for ages, played this one gig, and then me and Rassfire, who's also in the Pictish Clan, we were really keen on taking it further, and the other two weren't. So fizzled
what
out.
happened to Pictish Clan? Because we obviously done the Battle of the Bands thing a while ago.
Yeah.
And this is was that your first performance? I remember you saying, or your first performance as a group?
I think so. Yeah.
Because you weren't officially in Pictish Clan at that point. You just joined.
Well, the thing with that, we like the first thing we ever played was a show in Stonehaven at this like weird in Dunnottar Woods, this like kind of festival. And we plugged an iPod into like, and with it, not a proper setup at all. And then we ended up getting a DJ. But the Pictish Clan, the idea was like that's like a collective. Like we're really, me and my friend are really into like Beast Coast in America, like Pro Era, Flatbush Zombies, Joey Badass, Capital Steez, these people, and their whole thing like Pro Era is like it's a collective, and if they all work together, they can take their whole music to a different level. So. Yeah. We tried doing something like that. Like our friend Danny, he plays guitar. He was the one that was in the Battle of the Bands,
right?
Because he's more of the band act sort of thing, and I just kind of was backing him. Like I'd throw in some bars into a song and play the djembe sort of thing. That's what we were doing.
That's what you had.
Yeah. But we like. We're notoriously bad for not rehearsing or preparing. Like for stuff, we just show up and like end up like freestyling and stuff. Like
sometimes there's a bit of beauty in that as well. I feel like that there's some bands that didn't rehearse; they just kind of turn up and they somewhat improvise shows a lot of the time. I find a wee bit coolness in that sometimes. I think.
Aye, some of the best sessions are just chucked together.
Yeah, spontaneous and that. So. But I think it's. I think that's okay at the start and stuff. Like we were just beginning, but. The whole thing's been going for quite a while now. I'm quite keen on taking it a bit more seriously and doing something with it. But like our DJ, he's like that we had last year. He's very busy, so he's kind of not with us right now. And Ras has just gone back to Jamaica. Right. So, and Danny has a band now called Marmalade Sessions in Dundee. Check them out if you get a chance. Yeah. So the clan's looking pretty quiet at the moment. Like aside from individuals doing their own things, but yeah.
Well, is it you and Ross? What's Ross's name?
Rassfire.
Oh, he's Rassfire.
Yeah. That was like when we went to Jamaica the first time. He was telling everyone his name's Ross, but they all thought he was saying Rass. Because like they don't have that name over there, so he got called Rassfire straight away. Yeah. Because
I think you both were originally going to come down. But I think
he was going away really soon. He just like had to see family and he was only back for like a couple months or something, so he was just seeing family and stuff and didn't know. Mm-hmm. He didn't. He also like I think we weren't sure if he was going to make it, so we just rubbered it like just to be safe. Hopefully get him down sometime when he's back. Like
I definitely I'll be up for doing that somewhere. Definitely. You started working with Kamehameha.
Yeah.
You've done a wee bit more experimental work, I would say. You've done some kind of dubsteppy stuff and
yeah. Well, the first I think it was way back. Like we did I did a song Maximum and Food for Thought over to his beats, and it was just kind of like I said. Like I think he invited me along to something. I think it was at the Philip Hall. Or something a gathering thing that was going on.
Oh, that was the first time we all met, actually.
Yeah, it totally was. Yeah. And I just kind of I was keen on just like doing something like I said, the band thing. Like unless you have a band, you can't play in a band. It's hard to get everyone together. But I can write on beats and get out there.
So how did you meet Ian?
I met Ian through wrestling. We used to both be professional. Well, he was like more proper than I was. I was a trainee and like just kind of getting there. But yeah, so that was quite odd. We've just kind of kept
I remember
the link.
Being told that.
Right, I had no idea. That's news to me that you're... Holy shit.
You knew Ian was a wrestler.
I knew Ian was a wrestler, right?
I used to... He did it in Kirkcaldy and I did it in Blairgowrie, and the two schools were linked and they'd sometimes meet up.
I've heard Ian talking about Blairgowrie before. That was like one of the...
They've got all like...
That was quite an established...
Yeah, I mean they've had like we got trained by like Ted DiBiase, like me and Ian and Mikey, Michael, his brother and stuff. It was.
Mm-hmm. I remember Ian talking about the guy that runs Blairgowrie as an arsehole or something like that.
No, I wouldn't say I like them. Like these are the opinions of Kamehameha, not Yah IsReal.
See, and what if Kamehameha didn't want those?
Kind of funny thing is that it's going to annoy people. It might have been somebody else as well. I'll just say it, so fuck it.
Yeah, man.
It's interesting. So you moved on from there. You've sort of been doing a lot more solo work as well. You've been releasing a lot of stuff on SoundCloud that I've been seeing recently as well.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Like I'm keen on getting into, like, I've applied for a sound production course at Perth, but I applied very late and I'm on the reserve list, so fingers crossed. But I'm keen on just like finding out more about the kind of technical side, like setting up at gigs and like recording and mixing and shit, because I could play guitar and write lyrics all freestyle all day or whatever, but need to become a bit more in tune with that side of things, and because I can be more independent that way, like you can I can produce more and do more on my own. I'm just a bit clueless right now, trying to figure out which way to go with the whole thing, but
you didn't, at least if you learn to do that sort of stuff, you didn't rely on sort of extortionate studio prices, hey Sean?
I wouldn't say that. They're not extortionate prices.
That's the end of the session.
Well, I'm going to thank you for coming, yeah.
But we forgot
thanks
to
for
ask him
having
about
me.
his mum.
Sorry, man. Ask him about his mum.
So you've got an awesome mum. Tell us about your awesome mum.
I do, yeah. My mum's a legend. She's a big inspiration in my life, just like very down to earth lady. Always heard me out, even when I was being ridiculous, I guess. Like when I was at a very young age, she I got in trouble a lot, like smoking ganja at school, and we wrote up an agreement between ourselves that I'd do better in school, and she would allow me to like smoke ganja basically in my spare time, not drink alcohol though, because I was a wee arsehole when I drank alcohol. But when you smoke ganja, you don't change.
I turned into an annoying prick as well. Don't worry about it.
Happens to all
Oh,
of
it's
us.
such a big fucking difference when you're sober and it's
Thanks very much.
But yeah, it worked out because it's like, lots of my friends growing up, they had their they had to like hide from their parents, and they had strained relationships where they're lying and stuff, and it just doesn't work out. If you're honest, it's better. Like the kids aren't, if they really want to go smoke weed, they're gonna go smoke weed.
There's also an idea that the more you try and stop them from smoking weed, the more chance they're going to abuse what chance they do get to take.
It's the same with anything though. You keep somebody away from something, they're going to want to do it more.
Exactly.
And then they want to go further than weed, and then they want to get me.
Also, I mean, like with the whole honest relationship, like anytime I happened to try anything else, I almost, maybe that's just me, but like I always felt a kind of compulsion to like tell her and just say, oh yeah, you know what, and it's like just like we've got a really healthy relationship, we're friends now, and like whereas I know some people still to this day have like really strained relationships with their parents, and just over trivial things, really, they don't matter. They matter when you're 14, but 10 years later they really won't. Like,
yeah, I've got a friend who's, I'm 23, so he'll be 24, maybe 25, who his mum still doesn't know he smokes fags.
Oh shit!
That's
Really?
Pretty ridiculous.
He disguises it with mint like polos and
Just
stuff.
eats polos constantly. Like if he's getting, you'll get pissed at your house, right? And then the morning, and the next morning, all you'll see is fagged outs everywhere, and like polos that have just been randomly. He'll just spit it out like when it's almost done. He doesn't even eat all the polos.
Why do we have
He
him in
just
our
like
house?
spits it out. But then
It happens every time.
Oi.
Every time he's in, he does the same thing, and we still have him on.
in fairness, he's not been here
And
for
he
ages.
doesn't leave the house either.
Aye, he also doesn't leave till like a week later.
You have to like stab him with a wee stick to get him in the house. It's
Doesn't he?
really
I
annoying.
hate cunts like that. Yeah.
Good Cardi, man. Anyway,
Oh, I knew you've told his mum he smokes.
so fucking who cares? Oh, she's going to listen to this. She will love this. Anyway, thanks for coming, man.
No worries, thanks for
Much
having me.
appreciated.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, big up. Thanks. You ready? All right. Walking on thin ice. You're walking on thin ice. Walking on thin ice. You better watch yourself. I. Ring the alarm. Sending out a warning. The thing where you adore. We have found them abhorrent. From Longforgan unto the River Jordan, London to Kingston, Miami to Compton. Zion youth passed through, fist stomp on the problem till it gone like Gomorrah and Sodom. Take caution,
'cause nothing I go stop them. We keep a clear mind amidst the distortion. Walking on thin ice. Walking on thin ice. Walking on thin ice. You better watch yourself. I hear the innocent weeping and bawling. See the wicked man creeping and crawling, secretly watching, hearing us talking. I left Scotland 'cause I felt boxed in. Gonna get conscious and heed the calling. 'Cause enough of us not eat from morning. And when the table turn, it gonna come without warning. Humbled by wisdom, your kingdom has fallen. Walking on thin ice. Walking on thin ice. You're walking on thin ice. You better watch yourself. Yo yo, Pictish Clan again. I love King Selassie, I love Empress Menen. Glorify the holy eye, rule the time and override. His majesty is magnified, magnificent and sober minds. They lit like a candle, I played the example. Wickedness get trampled on the love we amplify. The love we have inside, bring it to the forefront. 'Cause our forefathers reluctant. Waragwan and Babylon consumed without production. All in all, the problem is a spiritual corruption, mental malfunction. But fuck it, we all good, as long as we keep saying so. As long as we got one another, we can make it through. Collective security and self-reliance too. Fulfilling the vision, read in Revelation. We taking the action and making it happen. The kingdom of heaven is just a perception, and even the devil must find his redemption. Purify Hunu temple, unify physical, mental. You'll get a surprise so special when you break through the threshold. Looked up our eye to see what essential. Put on the gun and pick up the pencil. I promise that it'll make sense when the dust begins to settle. Purify Hunu temple, unify physical, mental. You'll get a surprise so special when you break through the threshold. Looked up our eye to see what essential. Put on the gun and pick up the pencil. I promise that it'll make sense when the dust begins to settle. Early in the morning, get a calling from Jaja. Wrap up my jata, roll up my ganja. Man a shaman in Melchizedek order. Ride on to Zion, gather the Rasta. Watch the wicked scatter like the battle of Adawa. Satamasagana, hit them like a hammer. Break them the borders and trod where we wanna. You have to have the stamina if we make it in this marathon. So we're moving down a Babylon. Gonna batter them like Bannock Barn. Look how me physically fit and strong. Twist up a split, me not drink alcohol. If I fist and resist, Babylon must fall. No bones, no blood, man a vegetarian. Stepping out the area, looking like an alien. Heading out the fairyland, making me a crazy man. Dundee where they raise me at. Jam rock where my place is at. Take a chance, have faith in Jah. Make a plan and make a stand. Never show no fear, not afraid for act. Militant Rasta man say, I know I can. Rastafari way, Ethiopian way, the original way, discipline way, Haile Selassie way. We meditate and pray, power of the Trinity, discipline way. Yeah, this is Yah IsReal, representing the Pictish Clan. Fulfilling the vision, read in Revelation. We taking the action and making it happen. The kingdom of heaven is just a perception, and even the devil must find his redemption. Yeah. Yo, big up Unity Vibes in Jamaica. Green light for the ganja then. Me say, green light for the ganja then. You ask what that? Make them go through. Everything is alright, everything is all good. Green light for the ganja. Green light for the ganja. Hear me now. Pass it to the left. Make we light up the cess. We get it from the west. It's a bump on my chest. Say we have to confess. Ganja is the best. Blaze a spliff on your day of rest. Why they demonize it in the press? Specifically legalize it to make progress. Manifest the potential this plant possess. Cannabis activist, so I protest against the flawed laws that make no sense. Some refuse to talk, but the topic's so tense, so I bring it up every chance that I get. Oh yes, I am Eddie, so blessed. Get ready with the fire, make we light it up again. Come on, a red Eye Jedi. Stand firm, but my step light. Ready, gonna take flight. Now, who wants to get high? Man, a red Eye Jedi. Stay away from the dark side. Ready in the best vibes. Yo, yo, yo. Jedi Master, Red Eye Rasta. No police can confiscate my ganja. Watch me escape with an abracadabra. Have another dab and then wadada, wadada, wadada dang, wadada dang. Real ganja man, so you know we not pretend. Under Miss Lang Tang, under Miss Lang Tang. Tell them again we get the best in the West End. All about them Girl Scout cookies. I smoke a bong with some dreadlock Wookiees. Have another one, then roll up some doobies. I preach I love the buds for their smell and beauty. Inhale and exhale slowly. Never forget that this herb is holy. Meditation me a hole, so low me. If man I go, then the man fi go boldly. Come on, a red Eye Jedi. Stand firm, but me step light. Ready in the best vibes. Now, who wants to get high? Man, a red Eye Jedi. Stay away from the dark side. Ready, gonna take flight. Now, now. Sew it up, grow it up, roll it up, toke it up. Need a spliff at sunrise so that I am woken up. Sew it up, grow it up, roll it up, toke it up. Puts me back together whenever I am broken up. Will help you open up, take it from me because I smoke enough. Big fat doobie, then pack a chalice made of coconut. We grow this stuff. If someone calls 5-0 on us, the grass and bastards better pray that they remain anonymous. Paranoia, maybe someone's onto us. Blaze another doobie and your problems just fade away. My eyes are red with this ganja buzzing in my head, and it's rebel against establishment. For Rasta, ganja is the sacrament. So pass a grinder, please pass a skin. Make me build it up and puff a massive hit. Sure, man, a red Eye Jedi. Stand firm, but me step light. Ready, gonna take flight. Now, who wants to get high? Man, a red Eye Jedi. Stay away from the dark side. Ready in the best vibes. Yo, yo, yo. Give them a big bad blood clot dub plate straight to the brain. Tell them Rastafari run place, the one you all go melt off your face. Dissolve to the rhythm of the drum and bass. Bust like gun and drop like a bomb. In a vibes cartel, in a pop like corn. Bring the cheech to the chong and the king to the Kong. Got a gift from God that was born to perform. Strike a chord with my words once I sort out my thoughts. Bounce up and down on the track like a boss. When we walk in the dance, wanna see lion paw. United we stand and divided we fall. Little herb, make me verse cut sharp like a sword. Drop the facade, Lord, give it some pause. Defy all laws and what you got. Don't stop for a pause, we don't want an applause. Rebel with the cause, skin pebbles on a pond. Music revolution and a Rasta renaissance. Slightly odd, thinking outside the box. This sound always solid as a rock. Any dirty sound boy get stomped on and squashed. One past the hash and laugh my ass off. You come after the clan and get lost up north. Can he throw the colder thought off the frost. Could you hold your own in the land of the Scots? Look like you got caught in the jaws of a shark. This is Rabbie Burns meets Peter Tosh. I got writer's block but no time to stop. I feel like to up and try fight it off. Use peculiar words and then swerve off course. Besiege the fort and force open the doors. Of course, I prefer give credit to the source. We'll let the sun shine and make the rain pour. Take lyrics to the Olympics and call it a sport. So even my critics will give it support. Yo, finish your chores and I might throw in a chorus. Free up my mind and find I feel focused. A gift was present but I never did notice. Getting the impression I'm just scratching the surface. Search for my purpose, surface servant. Burn like a furnace, flip it and turn it. Get what you give, earn it if you deserve it. Little bit of culture, make it ferment. Persist 100% with no permit. Go with the flow, only change is permanent. Purge out the hate and let the love emanate. Eliminate the lethargy and negative mentality. I am my own worst enemy, schizophrenic but I'm okay. Rastafari give my energy to tackle any obstacle opposing me. Prepare poetry with power and potency. Show up at the gig dressed inappropriately. Roll up a spliff and start smoking it openly. Honestly, I don't give a fuck what you think of me. I do this for love cause I was sick of the misery. Could have been notorious and shrouded with infamy, but Jah love so glorious it guided me since infancy. Saved by the king in self-discipline. Infinitely skint but always pay attention. Raise my bars, lift my lyrics and enter the session. Familiar spirits are giving me direction. Ancestors watch over, provide protection. This universe is clearly full of intention, and there's more going on than we care to mention. But